everyone. My name is Amy Souza, and some of you may know me as Known Heretic from Twitter, Facebook, or my Instagram. And today we are going to do a little breakdown of a Jeffrey Marsh video. um, in this video, I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to, first of all, analyze exactly what Jeffrey is saying. Uh, he is going to juxtapose the idea of non-binary against women and girls' safety. So in my last video, I talked about the idea of inclusivity and how inclusivity as a value is being used against boundaries. So this is kind of going to be a further exploration of boundaries, but we're going to look at how women are treated and how men who claim special identities are treated. So what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to look at how women are actually treated, and we're going to compare that with how men who claim special identities are treated. I'm going to use the two incidents that happened in different train stations. One of them was in Ireland at the Howth Station, and one of them happened at the London railway station. One of these events happened to a group of girls, and the second event happened to some men who claim special identities. And we're going to look at how these different train stations treated these different people when these events happened. So we're going to see if Jeffrey's claims work out in the real world.
I am non-binary.
Okay.
I hope everyone knows that we need to protect the women and children has been used against marginalized people for most of human history.
No, no, that is not a thing.
These comments upset me because it's anti-trans, of course.
So here's a little bit of lying. Centering women and girls and protecting the boundaries, the physical boundaries of women and girls is pro women and girls. It's not anti anyone.
But also, it strikes me as anti your own daughters.
How? He never answers this, by the way.
Anti young people. Anti women. If you are a young person, if you're a daughter, if you are a woman, would you do me a favor? Please let all of the men in your life know that you can take care of yourself. Let them know you don't need protecting.
Protecting? Uh, if he means that I don't need boundaries around my physical body, no, I will not be telling that to the men in my life. I will be telling the men in my life to respect my boundaries, to respect my body, to respect women's safe spaces. I will certainly not be telling them that I don't need such things. Ugh.
And that you especially don't want protection if it means erasing trans people from public life.
Women having boundaries, women and girls having safe spaces does not erase anyone from public life. Men still have access to bathrooms, locker rooms, prisons, sports, shelters, all of these things men still have access to, even if women have boundaries. Women saying no to men, women having a boundary is not erasing anyone, and it does not preclude men from having access to public life. What a fucking lie. Okay, so now I want to look at the notion that men who are claiming non binary identities are somehow marginalized. So I want to look at how when a man who has a non binary identity says that he's facing some sort of oppression, I want to look at how he is treated in actuality. Okay, so let's find out how marginalized these men really are by the reactions that they get. So I want to look at the London train station incident. I'm going to pull up some tweets for you to see. The event that I am talking about is as follows. It happened at the London Northeastern Railway Station. There was a young man. He heard the announcement say, "Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls," and he had a big fat reaction to that. Which he took to Twitter with his tiny account, and there was a massive response. So let's see what he said. So Lauren says here, that good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, doesn't apply to him. So he's not going to be listening to these statements anymore. Then his friend says, "Oh, I'm also non binary, and we were both alarmed and uncomfortable at the lack of inclusion." Okay. Okay, so the North London Eastern Railway responded saying, "I'm really sorry to see this, Lawrence. Our train manager should not be using language like this. I thank you for bringing it to my attention. Please, can you let me know which service you are on, and I will ensure they remain as inclusive as we strive to be at LNER." They further responded saying, "We've been working very hard with educating our people on why gender specific pronouns are not suitable in instances like these, and we're sorry to see this has not been applied here. It's entirely valid for someone who does not identify with the terms used to feel excluded, and as a business, we do not accept that anyone should feel excluded." We do not accept that anyone should feel excluded. Interesting. Okay. So let's see what happened here. This event was taken incredibly seriously. The response was swift and immediate. The response was directed exactly to this kid who made his tweet. Um, and the railway promised not to exclude anyone. This does not seem like Lawrence is marginalized in any way. Lawrence has not been marginalized, and in fact, Lawrence has been given an incredible amount of attention, an incredible amount of uh, response. I have a very hard time believing that Lawrence is marginalized in any way. He simply stated that he did not like hearing words that were being said at him, not even directed specifically at him, but he did not like hearing words that he didn't connect to, and the response was overwhelming. This story gained international media coverage. Okay, so uh, are you marginalized when that is the kind of response that is given to you when you hear words that you don't like? No, I'm having a very hard time believing that Lawrence is marginalized in any way. So now let's look at what happened to a group of girls in Dublin at the Howth Station. So I'm going to show some footage here and uh, of this incident, which is a group of boys harassing a group of girls. I want you to pay attention to their body language. I want you to pay attention to the tactics that they try to maneuver through this situation. And then we're going to talk about what happened to them, and we're going to talk about the response that they received from the railway station. Notice that the girls see these boys collected together. Notice that they try alternative doors. Notice that they run past these boys. Notice that the boys get more and more aggressive the more that they enact this behavior. Okay. A girl gets kicked and she simply keeps running. I mean, she doesn't try to address it. Um, she just keeps going. So here's the moment where it happens. Uh, Look at the response of these boys, how they respond to this. Shameful. Hmm. Mm. See how this is being reported. A woman suffers injuries after falling. A woman falls after a nudge. Okay. Oh, God. So, first off, how this is being reported is incredibly minimizing, as if the woman just fell. And two, as if she's a woman. So the girl is a girl. The girl is the same age as these teenagers. If you go and look at how this is reported, in the numerous articles, in most of them, this is being reported as a group of teenage hooligans and a woman who fell. Well, these teenage hooligans pushed a woman, these teenage hooligans pushed a girl onto the tracks. They nearly caused a girl's death. Okay, this was huge. And it is reported as if she just sort of spontaneously happened to fall, as if these boys were not the agents in causing her to fall, as if they did not push her and cause this to happen, and it happened to a girl. Okay, so this is just a little bit showing into who is marginalized and who is not. So let's see how the train station itself responded. A representative of the railway station says, thankfully, she wasn't seriously injured, but it was disgraceful. We have extensive operations in the area to assist essential travel measures and address antisocial behavior. That work is continuing and will continue to assure that we have the resources to protect people and make a safe environment. Okay, so that is what was said in response to the girls. Okay, now here is what is said in response to the mother of one of the boys who is going to sue over leaked CCTV footage. Okay, in response to this mother who is going to sue, now the Irish Rail says to her, customers have a right to expect that the station CCTV is used for their safety and security and to assist in investigations and not to be distributed in an unauthorized manner. While our foremost priority is to assist in assuring that those responsible are brought to justice, we are also investigating the unauthorized distribution of this footage and have reported to the matter to the data protection commissioners. So, the complaint of the mother of these boys is taken more seriously than the injury of the girls. And when the girl is injured, the response is like, we have to make this safe for people, not specifically addressing that girls are very much in danger, and that girls are specifically vulnerable to abuse from teenage boys and men and things like this happening. You know, this didn't happen to people, okay? It happened to a group of girls, and erasing girls from this marginalizes them, okay? Oh God, it's so ridiculous. This the way that these boys, the way that the non-binary boy is treated and the way that these actual girls are treated who are suffering physical abuse and are worried about their physical safety, it's ridiculous.
I am non binary. I hope everyone knows that we need to protect the women and children has been used against marginalized people for most of human history. These comments upset me because it's anti-trans, of course, but also it strikes me as anti-your own daughters, anti-young people, anti-women. If you are a young person, if you're a daughter, if you are a woman, would you do me a favor? Please let all of the men in your life know that you can take care of yourself. Let them know you don't need protecting, and that you especially don't want protection if it means erasing trans people from public life.
So Jeffrey Marsh can fuck right off. That is ridiculous. Here's what I'll be doing. I will be telling the men in my life that women and girls deserve physical boundaries around their body for their safety and protection. And I will ask the men in my life to join me in protecting the boundaries of women and girls. My priority is to be nice to women and girls, okay? I will not be shamed for demanding single sex space, because that is what Jeffrey Marsh is doing right now. He is trying to shame girls for wanting physical boundaries around their bodies, when it is very clear that it is not a safe world out there for women and girls, that they are incredibly vulnerable because of the specific bodies that they are born into. So no, I will not be shamed. No, I will not be re-educated. And to act like women and girls are going to turn off the instincts that we've honed over a lifetime for self-protection, to act like assessing sex in environments is not incredibly important to our safety, and to act like our direct perceptions are not already kicking in the moment that we see a male in our environment. Those girls are already responding to those boys before they directly contact them, okay? Our direct perceptions are incredibly important to our survival, and women and girls have a good reason to be hyper vigilant about our environment when it comes to men. Okay? Men are men. Men are men. Women say no to men in our single sex spaces and sports. Okay? We say no. Men need to listen that we are saying no. They need to respect our no. They need to respect our boundaries. They need to respect our bodies. We demand boundaries around our bodies. Men who do not respect women's boundaries and women's bodies are abusers. And I'm going to call these abusers out. If you do not respect women and girls' physical boundaries, if you push past those boundaries after we have said no, you are an abuser. You're an abusive man. My priority is to be nice to women and girls by reinforcing our ability to trust our intuition and our sense perception. Our survival depends on accurately identifying sex. Okay, I am not going to participate in creating more cognitive dissonance for any women and girls. We need to rely on our instincts in order to take quick action. Okay, any movement that preaches to women and children to trust what the stranger tells you about himself before you trust your own direct sensory experience, that is a predatory movement. Okay, that is a grooming movement. That is a predatory movement. Women and girls should not have to waste valuable survival time trying to mentally analyze the pronouns of the man invading their single-sex space. We say no. We do not care what your special identity status is. I don't care what your special identity is. If you are a man, stay out of women and girls' spaces. We fought for these spaces to protect the boundaries that we have around our bodies. We did not fight for these spaces to protect our special identity status, okay? Women and girls did not fight for these spaces to protect our woman identity. We did it to protect our physical body, our physical safety, and to pretend that our physical safety isn't at direct risk in many situations. It's such a disingenuous lie. And I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie for Jeffrey Marsh. I'm not going to lie for anyone. No matter what he calls himself, an adult human male is always a man. If you were born male and you have survived until adulthood, congratulations, you are a man. Okay, I am not going to pretend that men are not men, not to be nice and not for any other reasons. I am here to protect the physical boundaries of women and girls and the rights that we have around our bodies. That's what I'm here for, and that's what I encourage you all to do. Thank you.